Hey guys, Mike back here with another stock strategy, and today we're actually going to be focusing on beginner investors. This is the right video for you if you're kind of new to investing, you don't quite understand what a PE means, what a revenue is, how to calculate net income. And just a quick disclaimer, this is not legal, financial, or tax advice. I am not a financial advisor. Make sure you do your own research and your own homework before you do any sort of investments or listen to anyone, including me. Let me know down below in the comments, are you a beginner investor? And if so, what are you scared about? What are you worried about? Let me try to teach you, let me try to explain how I would go about my investing strategy as a beginner. And make sure you like and you subscribe for more future videos on all things stock strategy and company analyses. And with that, let's get started. So again, this is the right video if you're a beginner, if you don't really understand much about stock investing, you're just trying to figure out how to dip your toes into the water. The strategy here that I recommend is to go for safe and well-known companies that aren't likely to fluctuate that much on a day-to-day, on a week-to-week, and a month-to-month basis. The reason for this is you want to get your experience in, you want to dip your toes into the water, and most importantly, you don't want to lose all of your money all at once, right? If you go for a high-risk, high-reward stock that many people haven't necessarily heard of or hasn't really proven out their business model, there's actually a high chance that you could lose a lot of your money. And so here what I recommend is don't go for the plus 30% gains, plus 50% gains. Don't go for doubling your money. Go for long-term, slow but steady, consistently growing, not very volatile. And I think what you'll find here is it's probably better for learning and probably better for just understanding the stock market and maybe even your stress levels. If you're new to investing, you're probably a little bit scared of losing a lot of your money. And so what I recommend here is go slow, go steady, go for those 1 to 2 to 3% increases in gains. Really understand the companies that you are investing in. And just to be clear, you probably see a lot of videos out there from a lot of other YouTubers that are like, double your money with this one stock. I wouldn't necessarily listen to them before you understand. And I know this is boring for a lot of folks, but I think this is really critical to long-term success. There's no such thing as an easy path. There's no such thing as easy money here. Don't listen to everyone that you see on YouTube, including me. Make sure you do your own homework and your own research. So now let's dive into the top 5 stocks that I would recommend for beginners. The first one is a ticker called SPY, or what I like to call SPY. And this really tracks the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is a basket of the top 500 stocks that both experts and regular people, they all believe in, they all use. And I feel like you really can't go wrong with a basket of the top 500 stocks that all the experts have agreed on. So my opinion here is let a lot of experts do their own analysis and their own research and have all of them combine and take the best of all of them, and that's kind of what the S&P 500 is. And for what it's worth, a huge portion of my portfolio is also S&P 500 because, let's face it, these are some of the best companies in the world. The next company I'd really recommend is Apple with a ticker of AAPL. And the reason for this is you probably already have an iPhone. You probably already understand this company a little bit. You probably already know their products. And I really think this can be your first venture into technology, into consumer technology as an investor. The next company that I recommend is Disney with a ticker of DIS. What I really recommend is you learn the hardware space. You learn their profit margins. You learn the software space, you learn how recurring revenue is important, and you really understand how tech companies make their money. And for those reasons, I think Apple is a great first company in the tech industry to invest in and to learn and understand. The next company that I recommend is Disney with a ticker of DIS. And the reason for this is you've probably already seen a lot of these Disney movies. You probably understand these Disney movies and how they resonate with both young kids and with adults. And so my reason for picking this one is this is your first venture into the entertainment industry as a beginning investor. You really want to understand how Disney makes their monies, from parks to merchandising to Disney Plus to movie theaters to their Disney TV channels. And even what you might not realize is their ESPN TV channels. And so here you'll really understand the entertainment industry. You'll understand their profit margins, kind of how cyclical it also is, but how Disney does a really good job diversifying. The next company I really recommend is Microsoft with a ticker of MSFT. So this company, you've definitely used their products like Microsoft Office and Windows. And the reason why I recommend this company is this is your first venture as a beginning investor into the B2B, which is business to business, enterprise focused company. This company is definitely not sexy, but it's definitely growing a lot and it's definitely making money, and it's good for you to understand why this type of company in this type of industry does make a lot of money. You'll understand the enterprise space. You'll understand how contracts work. You'll understand why enterprise is actually a pretty safe space because there's low amounts of churn. So a lot of companies sign, 5-year types of contracts. You'll understand how technology in the cloud space is really evolving, and you'll understand how Microsoft is really selling these contracts for B2B and to enterprise types of companies. And last but not least, the last actually 2 companies that I recommend is either Johnson & Johnson with a ticker of JNG or Procter Gamble with a ticker of PG. The reason why I recommend either of these is just go with your favorite. These are both consumer staple companies, and they're really important. And you've probably used a lot of their products before without even realizing, from Tylenol medicine to diapers to shampoo to baby wash and baby products. And why I really recommend this is your first venture into consumer staples. Again, these are not sexy, these are not super high growth, but these are products that everyone loves and needs to use. And you won't really see much volatility, which is good for a beginner investor. You'll understand consumer trends, you'll understand the retail space, you'll understand consumer staples and even how logistics work and how a lot of different factors from international trade to weather to even just distribution with Target and Walmart will really affect some of these stocks. And a lot of high growth companies are actually very jealous and envious of these companies. So it's very good to understand and study how these companies got to a large market share and how they dominate their respective markets. And with that, I kind of wrap up the top stocks for a beginner investor. And just to recap a little bit, I really recommend from a strategy perspective, you go safe, you go low volatility, and you really try to understand and do a lot of research before you try to take a big swing. And I really recommend as a beginner investor, you don't, and I repeat, you don't take these big swings, these high risk, high reward stocks that a lot of YouTubers are saying, hey, you can make $1 million, you can double your money in 2 days. I wouldn't trust those, and I would go slow and steady as a beginner investor and learn and study and understand. And with that, let me know down below, which companies are you investing in? What are you still nervous or scared about as a beginner investor? And I would love to help you and make a video about anything that you guys are interested in. And with that, make sure you understand any product strategy and you understand the company before you do any investment. And also make sure you make money. And with that, peace.